Welcome to Speedy Walkthroughs, where we show just the important stuff for beating the game. For first time viewers, this will look different to a normal walkthrough. It shows just the essentials, so you don't need to spend a long time watching this video. Today we're playing Pokemon Crystal for the Game Boy Color. Before we get stuck into it, if you like this video, consider subscribing to keep up to date. It helps out the channel a whole bunch and there should be a new walkthrough out each week. Alrighty, so we'll make a start. I'll be showing you basically how to get to the end of the game. There's a lot of extra stuff you can do, like catching all the Pokemon, for example, but the point of this video is just going to be to get to the credits screen and get through the main story of the game. Now you're going to start out in the game just going through an intro cutscene. Alright, you're going to pause and go into the options screen and then set the first three settings to what I have here. It just makes everything go a bit faster. So text speed speeds up the text. Battle scene off turns off the animations. It makes that go faster. Battle style set means that you're not asked whether you want to swap Pokemon each time a new Pokemon comes out to battle. So you might want to keep battle style on shift if you want, just so you can swap to different Pokemon. Just be aware that's a little bit slower. Once you've done that, just head out of your house. You get the Pokegear. And then you get the phone as well. So you can just head out there. I'm going to go and talk to Professor Elm, and he'll ask you to give him a hand. And then we're going to be able to pick one of the three Pokemon from here. So I like to pick Totodile. It's the water type. That tends to be the easiest one to get through the game with. Later on, we need a Pokemon that can use a move called Surf. And it's a really good move, and you need to teach it to a Pokemon to get through the game. So Totodile is really good for that. And water is generally a good type to go with. But you can pick whatever type you want. Speaking of Pokemon types, you want to use a good type move whenever you can. So for example, if you use water type against a fire Pokemon, it's going to do 2 times damage. So just keep that in mind as you're picking moves. And water is a really good type because it's very good against a lot of different Pokemon. Alright, so keep heading left until you get to this town. Once you're in here, keep heading up. You'll probably fight a few wild Pokemon along the way. And we just basically want to go into this house and talk through this bit. Right, you'll go through a big long cutscene here, get the Pokedex, and then we head out. Alright, you're then asked to head back to the starting town, so you just want to head down through this bit, and then off to the right, and you're going to come across a rival fight. Now, the rival will always have the Pokemon that's strong against you, so grass against water, for example. It doesn't matter too much in this fight, just keep using Tackle or Scratch or whatever you've got against it, and you should be right. Your Pokemon's also holding a berry, so if it hasn't used it by now, it'll heal up your Pokemon, which is really handy. Okay, keep heading to the right, and we're going to get back into the starting town. Basically, just then want to go into the lab here, and talk through this little text here. You then do want to talk to Professor Elm, and then we can just head back out here. You're going to get some Pokeballs as well. So it's good to be able to catch Pokemon. This guy offers to give you a tutorial, but I've said no because I can tell you how to catch Pokemon. You throw a Pokeball at it. And we're going to be catching a few Pokemon in and around the game. Make your way up this route here and you're going to come across a trainer. Trainers will fight you if they see you, so there's usually no way to avoid certain trainer battles. Okay, now that we've done that, we've actually got the move Rage, which is quite good. If you keep using Rage, it gets stronger and stronger. So you can use that if you're in like a longer battle, for example. Mum called us before to decide whether or not she saves our money. You can say yes or no to that. Okay, so I'm going to use Rage against these Pokemon here. And you'll see it gets stronger and stronger, like it does a little bit more damage each time, which is really good. If you're having trouble with this gym, just level up on some wild Pokemon just in the grass around town until you're a bit stronger. Through another battle here. Alright, with that battle done, we're up to the gym leader. I'm just going to head out and actually heal the Pokemon before we do that. Anytime you go to a Poke Center like that, you can heal up your Pokemon. Before the gym leader, I'm actually going to go and do Sprout Tower. This is a tower full of Bellsprout, pretty much. I left this till after fighting those few gym trainers because I wanted to be a little bit stronger. Since these are Bellsprout, they've all got grass moves, which are super effective against us. So it can be pretty rough to get through Sprout Tower as Totodile. Just talk to all these trainers and get through the fights. We'll eventually learn water moves. Don't use water moves on the Bellsprout. Just use normal moves on the Bellsprout, like Scratch and stuff like that. Okay, heal up your Pokemon, and we're going to come back and fight the gym leader now. Gym leader's just 3 here. You can see now that I also know Water Gun. That's really good for this gym. When you have a water type Pokemon and it uses a water type move, for example, it's actually a little bit stronger. It's called same type attack bonus. So if you're using the same type move as your Pokemon is, it's going to be stronger. So Water Gun's always a really good move to have. All right, back to the Poke Center. We'll just heal up and we'll talk to the professor's assistant there. This guy gives us a Togepi egg. So if you just walk around, it'll eventually hatch. Don't worry about hatching it now, just play the game as normally, it will hatch eventually. Okay, down through this little route here, I'm just dodging past some trainers because I don't want to fight them unnecessarily. Doesn't matter what you say to that Slowpoke guy. It's going to get an X attack there, which is really good. And ideally, I'm going to be catching a Sandshrew here. So you go to items and you throw a Pokeball to catch it. If you're having trouble catching it, you want to weaken it first, like deal some damage and then try and catch it. That'll make it easier. Sandshrew is really important because it's going to learn a move called Cut, which we need to get through to the next town after this. Just going to head up into this building and talk to Kurt, clue him into the fact that Team Rocket is in this Slowpoke well here, and then we're just going to go through the well. So we're just going through battle after battle, really. Up to this next one. Yeah, Super Potion there as well, which is really good. And then eventually you're going to get up to the sort of the leader of this little group of Team Rocket, this guy. You use Rage against him, it's pretty good. And then Kurt will be very happy with sort of save the Slowpoke well. So Kurt can make various different Pokeballs for you. To be honest, it's not really worth it. I'm going to buy a bunch of Super Potions there, because that will help us heal up health. Super Potions heal 50 health at a time, so if you're running low on health and you can't get to a Poke Center, that's really good. But they don't heal PP, which is how many times you can use moves for. Alright, coming through this gym. This is a bug-type gym, so we do have to be a little bit careful as Totodile, because some of them might have grass moves, which can be strong against us. But generally, just use Rage. Use Rage on the Metapod, for example, because then when you get to the next Pokemon, your Rage is going to be built up, and it's going to be really strong by the time you get to this Scyther. This Scyther is very scary because it's a grass type and we're a water type, so maybe level up a little bit more before you get there. If you level up enough like I have here, you'll evolve, and then your Pokemon's going to be stronger. Once you've done that, just head up and out of the gym. You are about to have a rival fight, so you got to be careful. I'm going to teach Croconaw Fury Cutter and heal Croconaw up. So you might want to go to a Poke Center to heal rather than use a Super Potion if you want, but we've got a rival fight here. The reason I taught it Fury Cutter, Fury Cutter is a little bit like Rage. It gets stronger each time you use it, and I'm going to be using it on Bayleaf. Because Fury Cut is a bug type move, and bug is super effective against grass. So that's how we deal with Bayleaf there. And we're going to keep Fury Cutter because, well, it's going to be really good for us dealing with grass type Pokemon. You just teach Fury Cutter to Croconaw because you got it from the gym as well. Alright, so now that we've done that, we can heal up in the Poke Center. Just do that, and then we're going to head out left into Ilex Forest. Now, you got to talk to this Farfetch from the correct direction, so walk all the way up and around it and talk to it from the top, and then the top again, and then the left, from the right. So then it goes in between these guys. They give us Cut. And we caught the Sandshrew before, because that can learn Cut. So don't teach Cut to your main Pokemon that you're using, because it's a really weak move, and you can't get rid of HM moves easily. There is a move deleter which can get rid of HM moves later on, but it's a pain to go through. So just don't teach it to your main Pokemon. I'm going to go into this little building here and get a bicycle. And with your items, you can actually register it. So now that I've registered it from the menu, every time we press select, you can just go straight onto the bike. So that saves a lot of time. You don't have to go into the menu each time. Coming to this gym, this is the normal type gym. So we're just going to go and fight Whitney. Rage is really good because this Miltank is a pain to deal with, and if you let your Rage build up on an earlier Pokemon, it's really strong for dealing with these later, tougher Pokemon. Now, you don't get the badge from Whitney. You have to talk to the person underneath her and then go back up and talk to Whitney. That caught me out so badly the first time I played this game because it wouldn't let me progress because I didn't have the badge, even though I beat the gym. So be aware of that. Talk to the lady in this house here. She gives you the squirt bottle to do a pseudo-wudo later. Now I'm going to sell some stuff and buy a whole bunch of X specials as well. Also going to buy that TM33. It's like an ice type TM there. Now, X specials, you use them in a battle, and for that one battle, they'll make you stronger with your special attacks. So like water type moves, for example, they're a special attack. Go and talk to the lady by the tree there, and then head back out. And go back here, and now we actually get that squirt bottle that I was talking about before. And you need that to progress through the rest of the game. So back up through here, out the door to the right, and down to this tree here. Now, save before you fight this tree, because you might actually want to catch this Pokemon. I am going to catch it. The odds of catching it are pretty low, so weaken it. Make sure you're saved before fighting the tree, because if you fail to catch it, you'll want to retry again, like reset your game and try again from the save. The tree is pretty good, and you only have one shot at catching it, so it's good to actually do that. Just going to go into this area. Each trainer in here has a different evolution. Those are the evolutions of the Pokemon Eevee, and they're all different types. So just work your way through these 5 trainers here. They've all got different ones. Keep healing up or going to the Poke Center as you need to. Last one. Now I'm actually going to swap to Pseudo-Widow because Thunder, like electricity, is really good against water. So if we tried to fight that with our Croconaw, we'd have a lot of trouble. Okay, talk to this dude and he'll give you Surf for beating those 5 trainers. Once you've done that, back into the Pokemart. You can talk to Bill for a bit and then go and heal up your Pokemon. Alright, up here. This guy will come across us. Alright, and we sort of got a rival fight to deal with here. So I'm going to be using Fury Cutter on the Haunter. Now, it obviously looks like it's a really bad move to be using because it's only gradually getting stronger. But you'll notice it is getting stronger each time. And the reason we do that is because when the rival sends out Bayleaf, which is a really scary grass type Pokemon, Fury Cutter is going to be strong enough to basically kill it in one hit. There you go. Otherwise, if that got one attack off against us, we would be done. Alright. Beating the rival fight, so we're going to fall through the floor here. And this little cutscene sends those 3 legendary dogs off into the wild, except for Suicune there, who we have to fight later on. It's like the main legendary of Pokemon Crystal. Now, you can actually find the 3 legendary dogs out just in the grass on different routes. You sometimes have to leave the route and come back in, and that'll change which route the dogs are on. So if you want a strong level 40 Pokemon, you can get it. It's usually just more trouble than it's worth, so I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you're doing like a speed run or something. Okay, into the gym here. Bite is really good against this gym, so I'm going to be using Bite quite a bit. Now, the floor you will fall through. Basically, just take a zigzag shape. So that zigzag shape, when you beat a trainer, you just go left and up, for example, to the next trainer. So you want to walk right in front of the trainer's eyes. Next zigzag shape is right and up, and it sort of just follows on like that. If you get the zigzag shape wrong, you just fall through the floor. It's no biggie. We go through this gym here. So Bite is just really good against all the Pokemon in this gym. And then we're done. Alright, coming out of this gym, we're just going to head left here. Fight this trainer. And then down into this town. The rival won't fight us there, that's alright. Now we want to go and heal up in the Poke Center. Generally a good practice when you get to a new town to do that. And we're just going to head into the lighthouse here. Alright, go left and fight this trainer. Now, with this trainer, you want to go up and over. Pick up that ether, and then just head down here. So we have to talk to her. She says the Pokemon in the lighthouse is sick, so that clues us in that we've got to go down to a different town in a sec. Talk to this guy in here. He gives you strength. It's another HM move. Alright, so I'm going to teach Surf to Croconaw. Surf is a brilliant water type move, so even if we didn't need it for a HM, we'd want to teach it to Croconaw. Okay, so yeah, Surf is good, and we're just teaching it over Water Gun because they basically do the same thing. We're going to learn Strength as well. I'm going to teach that to Sandshrew, or you can teach it to Pseudo-Widow if you want. Now that Ice Punch TM that we bought ages ago back in Goldenrod City, we're going to teach to Croconaw as well. I teach that over a Fury Cutter now that we're done with all the Fury Cutter moves. Now, you might be wondering, oh, well, that Fury Cutter was really good against grass Pokemon. What are we going to do? We don't have it anymore. Well, Ice is good against grass Pokemon as well, so that was sort of the thinking there. A Togepi hatches from the eggs, not a big deal. I go up here and we'll trigger a Suicune cutscene. So Suicune just runs off. We're going to be chasing it all around the region. And we're also going to get into this fight here. Just take care of that. And yeah, you'll notice how strong Surf is as soon as we use it. And Croconaw evolves as well, which is really nice. Okay, into this bottom house, we've got the Secret Potion. That's going to heal the Pokemon in the Lighthouse. Make sure you get that. Just going to go through this gym, all like fighting type Pokemon. That move Strength that we taught before, you need to push those boulders there. And we're just going to heal up for Alligator. Now, I'm using a bunch of X specials in this fight. So they make moves like Surf a lot stronger, because Surf is a special type move. Because we don't really have a good move to use on Poliwrath. So I'm going to use like Surfs and Ice Punches and stuff. But if I didn't use that X special, this fight would be a lot harder. So yeah, X special only lasts for the one fight, but it is a really useful item to use right at the start of like a gym battle. You talk to this person who can teach Fly to our Pokemon, or give us the HM for Fly. Now, I actually made a small mistake in this playthrough. I didn't catch a flying type Pokemon, so we do have to surf back. If you happen to have a bird type, like flying type Pokemon, you could teach Fly to that Pokemon and then just fly back up to this town. But now we're just going to go back up the lighthouse again, same path we went up before. And we can talk to her to heal up the Pokemon. Now, this person is actually the leader of the gym in this town. So now that we've healed up the Pokemon, she will fight us in the gym, which is really good. Okay, up into the Poké Center, we're just going to heal up again. And just going to head up into the gym. No trainers or anything. And water is usually pretty good. So like Surf is going to be really handy in this gym here. Cool. Alright, we're going to head out of the gym. Now, I still don't have a flying Pokemon, so I really made a bit of a mistake here. But yeah, Pidgeotto we're going to catch. Weaken it first, so like deal some damage if you're having trouble catching it. Now that I've got Pidgeotto, I'm going to teach that Fly straight away. And then we can just fly back to that top middle town here. Okay, you're going to go right and surf across this gap here. There's another like Suicune interaction. And we're just going to surf to the right across here now. Go up into the Lake of Rage. And we got like a little red Gyarados. So make sure you save before you fight this one, because you've only got one shot at catching it. This is something called a shiny Pokemon. It's like a different color than a Gyarados normally would be. And this Gyarados is really good to catch, because you can use it to learn a whole bunch of those HM moves. And we're going to have 3 different water type HM moves that we'll need teaching in the game. So Gyarados is really good to teach that too. If you don't want to teach your shiny Gyarados those water type moves, you can catch like another normal water type Pokemon. Anyway, go into the mart here and you're going to head downstairs. So just head to the left here. You keep getting fought by trainers. That's fine though, because it's good EXP. Go down through this battle here. You're going to go on like the trap floor tiles. These will make you fight wild Pokemon. So just keep heading down those floor tiles. Alright, off to the right, we've got another battle to get into. Yeah, you got to get 2 passwords in this section. So the trainers that I'm fighting, you really do have to fight. And you'll also, after the fight, have to talk to them again to make sure you get the password. So don't forget to do that. If you don't talk to them again, then you can't open the door. And then you're like, why? But I fought the right trainers. Talk to this one again, so you get the second password. We're going to go and open that door that I was talking about here. Pick up an Ultra Ball there as well. Fight this guy. And you want to go and talk to his bird Pokemon Mercury here, who will tell you like the final password to get into the proper end room of this section. Up through the ladder here. And into there. You basically got to fight these like Electro Voltorb things up there. But we're going to get into a fight with Team Rocket first. There we go. So just head over to the left, and you got to fight all three of these things here. Once you've done that, we're just going to head out. And we got HM6, so that's Whirlpool, and that's going to be really good to teach to our Gyarados. Now, you might be tempted to teach Whirlpool to your starter Pokemon for Alligator if you got the water one. Don't do that. It's just going to clog up a move slot that you can use for other like typing diversity. Now, we'll slow down the path in this gym because it can be a little bit tricky. The ice will slide you forward, so you're sort of locked into a direction until you hit one of those metal tiles. But that's the path through the gym here. Once you've done that, just get through this fight. Alright, heading out of the gym here. We get a call from Professor Elm saying we need to fly to Goldenrod City. It's going to heal up here. Alright, now we're going to go and take down Team Rocket. So basically just want to progress your way up this section here, fighting all the trainers you need to fight. Alright, up to the top floor, and we talk to this guy. He really likes coughings and wheezings, apparently. Alright, so he gives you the underground key. So now we're going to go back out of this building, and we're going to go into the underground. So I'm actually just going to heal up in Goldenrod again. That was the same town where we were already in. And then just go up into this building here. That's the underground. The trainers are really weak through this little corridor because you could get here much earlier on in the game. It was very satisfying fighting like level 7 Pokemon. Alright, heading across here. Now we're going to get into a rival fight here. So now that we don't have Fury Cutter, Ice Punch is going to be really good against his grass Pokemon. Alright. Basically what you want to do is go through and clear out all these trainers here. Now once you've cleared out all three, there's a very specific order that you have to hit these switches in. And it's basically just left to right. But if you start messing around with the order that you hit the switches in, the path through won't become overly clear. So yeah, hit them left to right, don't do anything else differently. Alright, heading up and out through here. We're actually in the bottom of the department store now. Alright, now that was a real director. You can pick up an amulet coin there. If you make a Pokemon hold that and you fight with that Pokemon, you get twice as much money from the battle. I'm going to buy a whole bunch of X Special, X Attack, and X Defend. A whole bunch of Super Potions as well. And make sure you bought some Escape Ropes too. Alright, go through here. Alright. We got the clear bell there. And then just talk to this guy and head out. So that's the whole radio tower segment done. Now before you leave, you do need to do this quiz here. So the answers are yes, yes, no, yes, no. So that would be yes for Berry, no for Flash, yes for that one, and then no for Charmander. There we go. So make sure you get that radio card. If you don't get it now, it's an absolute pain to get it later. So fly back to Mahogany Town, and we go through here, heal up our Pokemon, and off to the right. So we're in Ice Cave here, there's lots of like slippery ice. You also, I haven't mentioned it up till now, but you might want to buy some repels for these areas and get rid of the wild Pokemon if they're bothering you. You picked up HM7 there as well, that's really important that you get that. And with this shrink puzzle, you can push all 4 boulders in, but all you have to do is the one that I did there, and then you're out of the Ice Cave. Okay, into the gym. So this is a dragon type gym. Ice is going to be really good against all these Pokemon. Okay, I'll just go back a little bit. Alright, so once you've beaten that first trainer in the gym, just go up the ladder. You've got another trainer to fight here. Push this boulder down, and then back up, and across. Then fight this trainer. Push the boulders across and then down. Fight this one, and then you're up to the gym leader. So yeah, Ice Punch is just going to be your best friend in this gym. It's very helpful. Kingdra, not so much, so just use like Slash or something on Kingdra. Alright, heading out of the gym. Now, she didn't give us the badge, so we have to head up here. And we're going to teach Whirlpool. So go ahead, teach Whirlpool. I'm going to teach it to Gyarados. And I'm also going to teach Waterfall to Gyarados that we got there as well. So there we go, we'll use Whirlpool to get rid of the Whirlpool. We're into the Dragon's Den here. Now we'll slow this down for the answers. Basically pick whatever answers make you seem like a lovely, nice person. Like, you don't want to pick the one that says you want to like hurt Pokemon or whatever. So you want the Pokemon to be your friend. Raising Pokemon helps you battle anybody for the trainer. And love is most important. Both Pokemon are important in that one. So if you answer all those questions right, you do get the gym badge. And with that, we've got all 8 gym badges, so we're going to be able to head to the Elite Four. Alright, you can use an escape rope to get out of here. Professor Elm calls you up, and he's actually going to give us the Master Ball. So if you want, you can go in and grab that from him. I'm not going to bother right now, because I don't need it right now. But you can just go to his lab if you want. Use Waterfall to get up there, and then we're going to go across. Note that I haven't actually caught Suicune. You can catch Suicune at this point if you want, and you could even use the Master Ball if you really want to, although I wouldn't recommend it. Save the Master Ball for like some of the roaming Pokemon, like the other 2 dogs. But I'm not going to get Suicune, because for Alligator is actually a bit better to use, to be honest. Alright, up through here, this is Victory Road. You're just going to take the same path I'm taking here. It's the same sort of shape as the original Victory Road in red and blue, just with some small changes. I can use a whole bunch of X Special, or 1 X Special in this fight. And the X Special will just make me that little bit stronger so that I can kill all the Pokemon in 1 hit. So it does take you turns to set up the X Special, but it's absolutely worth it in the payoff that you get. Alright, let's through the rival fight, so we're just going to head up out of the door here. And we'll heal up. Now we're about to fight the Elite Four. These are 5 trainers that you have to fight in order without healing. So buy a whole bunch of Hyper Potions and Revives. Make sure that you still got like an Ether or something, but you can't buy those. So hopefully you got some that you've picked up already still. Okay, Ice against all the grassy Pokemon. You can use Bite against Jinx. Jinx is Psychic type. Use same Bite against Slowbro. He's Psychic type. And then Bite against this one because it's Psychic type. Go through here, we've got Koga. So I'm going to be using X Special, just one of them. And then we'll blast through the Pokemon here. Surf is really good against a lot of these. Just try and manage your PP, like don't use too much of like your really good moves. Make sure you save them for a bit later on. I got Bruno as well. So we're going to use X Special, and then again once more. So I've used 2 there. They keep stacking, so it does make you stronger and stronger. Just going to heal up for Alligator. Try and use up all your little potions, like the normal potions and super potions, since you want to save hyper potions for like in a battle, so you only use 1 turn. X Special, I'm going to use that twice. Use Surf through. Umbreon's very defensive, so don't worry too much if you can't kill that one in 1 hit. Alright, there we go. Up to the champion. You might also, if you want to save before a lot of these battles, could help you have another shot at it. Alright, 2 X specials on this. And Ice is going to be good against all the Dragonites. And Water is going to be good against Charizard like Surf. Water is good against Aerodactyl as well. Okay, so yeah, that's the champion beaten. Now in most Pokemon games this would be the end, and you do get the credits here. But we've actually got a whole nother region to do. So we've got 8 badges so far. You can get 16 badges in total. So Professor Elm basically comes along, gives us a Master Ball now. You want to fly down to, I think it's Olivine City, and head down into the ship. Now the ship has a little task to do here. You've got to find a missing child. So talk to that sailor there. You want to go into this room. Talk to this guy who was goofing off work. Back up. Now you can get through to this section. You go through to the captain. The child is bothering the captain. And then you return the missing child, and now the ship is actually boarded. So we're now in the Kanto region. So these are the towns from the first Pokemon games, rather than the Johto region, which we have been in up till now. We're going to get 8 more badges and then fight a trainer called Red for the best ending of the game here. Alright. Now this part of the game is very satisfying because you basically just go through all the gyms really quickly. So we're going to go up to this gym. This is the Psychic Gym. So the first teleporter take a left, but then all the other teleporters just go up or down to whatever one you went on. You can actually get to the gym leader by going up or down and never going left or right. So that's another strategy too if you want. Alright, go through this gym. You can basically just go uppy downy until you get to the end there. Go up here, we're in Cerulean City. Just going to head across to the right. We're going somewhere called the Power Station. So you got to surf down here. Now the Power Station has a missing part, so our goal is to track down that part. You talk to this manager guy who's telling you about the missing part. Head back out. I'm going to fly back to Cerulean City. Going to go into the gym, and this guy bonks into us, and he runs away. So basically, then you got to go up and talk to him on the bridge here. Now I'm actually going to go up and fight through a lot of the trainers here. Alright, and we come across Misty. So she's the gym leader. So now she's in the gym, we can fight her properly. There's 2 things to do in here. You got to get the machine part, which is just in that top water tile there. So actually hit the A button to search the water tile and get the machine part. Very important you do that. Now we got Misty. So get through her fight. And just head back down out of the gym. We do have to go back to the power station eventually to return that machine part. So just be aware of that. Okay, heading to the right here, we're going towards Lavender Town. And I just went into Lavender Town to set that as like a fly point so I can get back there later. But for now, we're just going to go through and return that machine part. Give it to this guy, he'll be very happy. I'm going to fly back to Lavender Town now. Talk to this guy. Now, he gives us the expansion card. You needed to do that radio quiz before in Goldenrod City to actually get the radio to start with before you can get the expansion card. Okay, into this is the grass gym, so your ice punch is going to be very useful here. Back out here, we're just going to head to the left and down Cycling Road. Into this gym, this is the poison gym. You got to fight the true gym leader, who's this one just right on the left here. They all sort of look alike, so you got to be careful. I use an X special as well, just to make the fight a little bit easier. Once you've done that, just heading back out. I'm going to fly down to this bottom town, and we've got a Snorlax. So you've got to go into the Poke gear and set your tuning up to that top bit where it says Poke Fleet. Once you've done that, you can put the radio down and fight the Snorlax. So I am just going to kill the Snorlax, but probably best if you catch the Snorlax. It is a very good Pokemon to have, and that's your only chance to catch one. So if you want, save before that Snorlax fight and then catch it. Once you got rid of Snorlax, you can go through Diglett Cave. And we've got the rock gym here with Brock. Head out of the gym, and we're just going to head down. You can cut through the trees here just to get further and further down. Down to Pallet Town, and we're just going to surf even further down to Cinnabar Island. Now, this island doesn't really have much on it. You got to talk to Blue, and that will send Blue back to his original gym. Head down and across to the right here. And up into this cave. We got Blaine, who's a fire type gym, and this is really good because water's good against fire, so just use surf on everything basically. Once we've done that, you want to fly back to Viridian City. And then go up to this gym. Blue will now actually be in the gym. I always thought his gym looked like Legos. I don't know why. Alright, get through this fight. Use some X specials if you want. Now, I'm going to pre-warn you about the next section of the game. It's about to take a huge jump up in difficulty. So we're about to go and fight the final boss, Red, who is actually the trainer from the original Pokemon Red and Blue. Red is an incredibly difficult fight. Basically, he's got like level 80s and stuff. So if you want, you can level up a little bit before going through that, like fight trainers around the Kanto region. You can fight the Elite Four over and over again if you want to level up. I'm going to go straight for it, but be aware the level that I'm approaching this at is the absolute lowest level you could possibly want to do it at. Use Flash on Togepi, and then Togepi can light up the tunnel. So you just go up through here, and up to Red. And here we go. So the thing that makes this fight very difficult is because he's got Pikachu, and you want to set up on the Pikachu, but the Pikachu has electric attack, so he's got to be very careful. I was pretty lucky in this that it missed some like Thunders and Charms and stuff. But yeah, no, very difficult fight. So I just use like a bunch of X specials so that I can actually make it through the fight. But yeah, level 62, way too low for this fight. Don't do it. Anyway, you're going to get through this fight eventually, however you manage to do it. Snorlax would be pretty good in this fight as well, or if you've got some legendary Pokemon, like if you've got Suicune before, or Ho-Oh and Lugia. But yeah, just do your best to get through the fight, and then we're done with the game. So that's going to be the best ending of Pokemon Crystal, and that's also going to be all for this video. Thanks so much for watching.